My name is David Harrison. I am 45 years old. I live in Chicago. I am a successful lawyer. I have a beautiful wife named Emily. We have 2 children, a boy and a girl. We live in a big house. We drive nice cars. Everyone thinks I have a perfect life, but I have a secret. I have a twin brother. His name is Daniel. We are identical twins. We look exactly the same. Same face, same voice, same height. But our lives are completely different. Daniel lives in a small apartment across town. He works at a grocery store. He stocks shelves. He earns minimum wage. He drives an old car. He is not married. He has no children. He lives alone. When we were young, we were inseparable. We did everything together. We wore the same clothes, we played the same games, we had the same dreams. But when we turned 18, everything changed. Our father owned a successful business. He said he would give the business to one of us, but only one. He said, "I cannot split the business. One son will inherit everything, the other will get nothing." My father created a competition. He said, "Whoever proves themselves worthy will get the business." For 1 year, Daniel and I competed. We worked in the company. We tried to impress our father. We tried to show we were better than the other. I was smarter in business. I made good deals. I brought in new clients. I worked 16 hours every day. Daniel tried hard too, but he was different. He cared about the workers. He spent time talking to employees. He helped people with their problems. He was kind. But kindness does not make money. After 1 year, my father made his decision. He called us to his office. He said, "David, you will inherit the business. You are ruthless. You are ambitious. You will make this company great." Then he looked at Daniel. He said, "Daniel, you are too soft, too emotional. You care too much about people. You will never succeed in business. You get nothing." I felt happy. I won. I got everything. But when I looked at Daniel's face, I saw something break inside him. He did not cry. He did not scream. He just looked at me. Then he walked out. That was 27 years ago. Daniel never came back to the company. He never asked our father for help. He took whatever job he could find. He lived a simple life, a poor life. Our father died 5 years ago. He left everything to me, the business, the money, the house. Daniel got nothing, not even a letter. At the funeral, Daniel came. He stood in the back. He did not speak to anyone. When it was over, he left quietly. I tried to talk to him once. 2 years ago, I went to his apartment. I knocked on his door. He opened it. He looked tired, older than me, even though we are the same age. I said, "Daniel, we should talk." He said, "About what?" I said, "About everything. About the business, about father, about us." Daniel looked at me for a long moment. Then he said, "David, you won. You got everything you wanted. What more do you want from me?" I said, "I want us to be brothers again." He said quietly, "We stopped being brothers 27 years ago, when you chose money over me." I said, "I did not choose money over you. Father made the decision." Daniel shook his head. He said, "No, David, you made a choice. When Father chose you, you took everything. You never once offered to share. You never once said, 'This is not fair.' You just took it all, and you left me with nothing." I did not know what to say. He was right. I never offered to share. I never thought about it. I just accepted everything. Daniel closed the door. I stood there for a long time. Then I left. 6 months ago, something happened. I got sick. Very sick. The doctors found cancer. Stage 4. They said I had maybe 1 year to live, maybe less. Suddenly everything changed. My big house felt empty. My expensive cars meant nothing. My successful business felt worthless. I thought about my life. What did I achieve? Money? Yes. Success? Yes. But happiness? No. I thought about Daniel, my twin brother, the other half of me, living alone, working at a grocery store, and I realized something terrible. I destroyed his life. I took everything, and I never even said sorry. I decided to see him again. I went to the grocery store where he works. I walked down the aisles until I found him. He was stocking shelves. He wore a red vest. His hands looked rough. His face looked tired. I stood there watching him, my identical twin, living the life I should have shared with him. He looked up and saw me. His eyes widened. He said, "David, what are you doing here?" I said, "I need to talk to you." He said, "I am working." I said, "Please, Daniel, it is important." He looked around. Then he said, "I have a break in 10 minutes. Meet me outside." 10 minutes later, we sat on a bench outside the store. Daniel looked at me. He said, "You look different. Are you sick?" I nodded. I said, "I have cancer. Stage 4. I am dying." Daniel's face changed. I saw something in his eyes. Not happiness, not anger, just sadness. He said quietly, "How long?" I said, "Maybe 1 year, maybe less." We sat in silence. Then I said, "Daniel, I came to say I am sorry." He looked at me. I continued, "I am sorry for everything, for taking the business, for never sharing, for choosing money over you, for letting you suffer while I lived in luxury. I was selfish, I was greedy, and I destroyed our relationship." Daniel did not speak. I said, "I know it is too late. I know sorry cannot fix 27 years, but I need you to know I was wrong, and I regret it every day." Daniel looked at the ground. Then he said something that shocked me. He said, "David, I forgive you." I stared at him. I said, "What?" He said, "I forgive you. I forgave you a long time ago." I felt tears in my eyes. I said, "But how? After everything I did?" Daniel smiled sadly. He said, "Because holding anger was destroying me. Not you, me. I was bitter. I was jealous. I was miserable." Then one day I realized something. You did not ruin my life. I did. By holding on to hate, by refusing to move forward, by blaming you for everything. He continued, "Yes, you took the business. Yes, Father was unfair. Yes, you should have shared. But I made choices too. I chose to stay angry. I chose to stay stuck. I chose to be a victim. And that was on me." I did not know what to say. Daniel said, "I'm not rich like you, David, but I am happy. I have good friends. I volunteer at a shelter every weekend. I help people. I have peace. Can you say the same?" I thought about my life, my big empty house, my wife who only cared about money, my children who barely knew me, my business that consumed my soul. I said honestly, "No, I cannot." Daniel nodded. He said, "Money is not everything, David. Success is not everything. I learned that the hard way, and now you are learning it too." I said, "Daniel, I want to make things right. I want to give you half of everything, the business, the money, everything. It should have been yours too." Daniel shook his head. He said, "I do not want it." I was shocked. I said, "What? Why?" He said, "Because it would not make me happy. I do not want your business. I do not want your money. I do not want your life. I have my own life, and I like it." Then he said something I will never forget. He said, "David, you have 1 year left, maybe less. Do not waste it trying to fix the past. Use it to build something new. Spend time with your children. Really know them. Be honest with your wife. Find real friends. Help people who need help. Live, David. Really live. For the first time in your life." We sat there for a long time. Then Daniel stood up. He said, "I have to go back to work." I said, "Can I see you again?" He smiled. He said, "Yes, I would like that." Over the next 6 months, Daniel and I spent time together. Real time. We talked. We laughed. We remembered our childhood. We became brothers again, not identical, but connected. Daniel introduced me to his world. I volunteered at the shelter with him. I met his friends, simple people, kind people, real people. People who did not care about my money or my status. People who just cared about me. I also changed my life. I stepped back from the business. I spent time with my children, really talked to them, listened to them. I learned their dreams, their fears, their hopes. For the first time, I was a real father. My wife Emily did not understand. She said, "Why are you changing? Why are you spending time with Daniel? He is a nobody." I looked at her. I said, "He is my brother. and he is more somebody than I ever was. Emily and I separated. She took half my money in the divorce. I did not fight it. Money did not matter anymore. Now I live in a small apartment, not as small as Daniel's, but much smaller than my mansion. I have enough money to live comfortably. But I do not need much. The cancer is getting worse. The doctors say I have maybe 3 months left, but I am not sad, because for the first time in 45 years, I am truly happy. Last week, Daniel came to visit me. He brought soup he made himself. We sat together. We watched an old movie we loved as kids. We laughed. We were just two brothers, identical twins, finally united again. Before he left, Daniel hugged me. He said, "Thank you for coming back to me." I said, "Thank you for letting me." I learned something important. Success without connection is meaningless. Money without love is empty. Winning without compassion is losing. I won the competition 27 years ago, but Daniel won at life. I wish I had learned this lesson sooner. I wish I had chosen differently. But at least I learned it before the end. At least I got my brother back. At least I learned what really matters. Family, love, kindness, connection. These are the things that last. These are the things that matter. Everything else is just noise. What would you do if you had to choose between money and family, between success and connection? Tell me in the comments below. Where are you from? What did you think of this story? If you liked this story, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Learn English through powerful stories that touch your heart.